Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Jean here with more Mars anomalies and artifacts on the plains of Chronium. We're returning to that massive plain in the southern mid-latitudes of Mars, to a site about 200 kilometers to the west of that one that we did in the last two videos. Aptly named, the photograph is called Unusual Dune Form, a long inner small crater rim, and I'll include the link to this original page in the description below. Acquired on the 25th of July 2009 at 26.7 centimeters per pixel. 1x1 binning was used in this case. The anomalies I'm showing you are cropped from this JP2 black and white map projected file. There's a crop from the black and white low res showing the terrain and area in which I discovered these anomalies. As I say, the site is located in the southern mid-latitudes, 65.11 degrees south, 151.31 degrees east. And it's next to this terrain we analyzed in the last two videos. Vast debris field on the plains of Planum Chronium, part 1 and 2, and it's about 200 kilometers to the west, on the edge of that circular depression. So the first one we're looking at, another one of these disc-shaped objects, about 12 meters in diameter. Could it be a trapdoor, disc, hatch, ventilation, underground entranceway? Who knows? Maybe even a fossilized shell. I'm finding so many of these things. I don't know what else to make of them. We've got this perfectly rounded disc shape, and towards the back of here, slightly indented. And there's another one like it. There we go, about 8 meters in diameter, and this one's leaning up against a strange ridge line over there. Don't know what that could be. Very irregular, and it's definitely elevated off the surface on the left hand side. And there we have another one, very much the same as this one to the top right, and this was from my second last video, part 1 of vast debris field on the plains of Planum Chronium. Right, here we're looking at a really strange structured artifact, and that piece measures about 8 by 8 meters, and it's got this rectangular part. It seems to be hollowed out or machined out of the top right there. A little dome or spherical object towards the right. And there's a similar example from part 1, more artifacts west of Ross on Mars. Check that out. Also have this rectangular part that seems to be machined out of the top, and then a strange little object there to the right. This is a very strange object as well. Found a couple of these on Mars already. That measures about 5 by 5 meters. And it's got this triangular shape, but slightly rounded on the two sides, and then a disc shape to the back. And if you draw a line through the middle, it's another perfectly symmetrical object there. And there towards the side, that looks like some type of megalithic block. Another one over there perhaps. Look at the straight edges and right angles to that piece. There's another one a bit smaller, and the one side here is slightly obscured. Got the rounded part there and the disc shape to the back. So there they are, side by side. Check out this piece over here. This is from Structures and Wreckage south of Lamont on Mars, part 1. Also another one of these sort of triangular shapes. We've got the disc parted at the back, and then slightly caved in on the side over here. And then it's got a strange object lying on the top. Here we got another disc-shaped object. It looks like it's standing up on its side, and that piece is about 12 meters across. You can see the disc shape to it, and then some rather strange artifacts on the top. So it has a very smooth, flat surface to it. There's another one of those rather strange tombstone, if I could call it that, tombstone inverted commas shaped objects. That thing's about 12 meters wide, and it's got something rather strange lying on top of it. This oval piece, and it looks as if it's hollowed out towards the top. But check out the straight edges on this thing, and if we draw a line through there, we've got some symmetry in that block. Right, then we're looking at this object at the bottom over here, and each side is about 10 meters in length. Very smooth, flat surface, like a dome feature on top. And look at these straight edges again. Another one of these partial hexagonal shaped objects, and it's definitely got some depth to it. Check that out over here. Straight edge, like a flat side to it, and then a rather unusual design over here to the top left. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to that. Here we're looking at this strange rectangular block measuring about 4 by 8 meters. You can see 2 sides and a rather strange circular object here to the left. Check out the straight edges again and right angle over there. It reminds me of another block that my friend Saturn Arc found. This was in Asimov. The video and blog post is called Return to Asimov's Blocks on Mars in Color. Another one of these cubes, and next to it there looks like a football. Rather weird. But check out the strange piece over here. It reminds me of that apex that we can see on that part. Here we're looking at another little triangular object about 5 by 8 meters, and it's got a straight edge on it like a bevel, and then on the side here that looks like a wing, if I dare say so. But check that out. Got right angles over there at the top, and then a raised circular part over here to the bottom. It reminds me of that piece I found in Isidis Basin. Also has this rectangular part to it, and then what looks like a little wing attached to the side. This one over here looks as if it's got like a cylindrical flange or piece connected to it over there. And then this object from Timaeus, check out the triangular side, same as over there, the rectangular piece on top, the circular dome-like shape on both as well. Here we're looking at the rectangular megalithic piece over there, about 6 by 3 meters in size, and it looks like the piece here in the middle is slightly carved or machined out, and then it's got this triangular piece on the side. Rather weird piece. And there's a similar one that's from part 3, the curious enigma of Timaeus. Also check out the strange geometry in that piece. Structures and Wreckage south of Lamont on Mars, part 2. Another very irregular looking block over there. these two beveled parts on the top, running parallel with one another. Long, narrow piece there, about 14 meters in length, and there's some similar pieces, that's from structures and debris in Dune Field west of Valespontis Montes, as well as that piece over there. Check that up close, get straight edges to it and a right angle over there, and small indentation on either side of that oblong feature in the center. So it has strange circular parts on the top. Right, another quarter disc-shaped object over there, about 6 meters on the one side, with the straight edges, right angle again, and then the rounded part. And there's another one also about the same size. It also has the straight edges, right angle, and the rounded disc shape to the left. And I speculate these were once part of a larger disc, as you've seen over here from part 3, the Sidonian Neolithic artists and builders on Mars. We've got that half a disc-shaped object there with the two quarter pieces next to one another. And maybe those two were once connected, like that arrangement over there. I wonder what this was used for. Was this one solid disc consisting of 4 pieces in the distant past? Right, then this strange piece over here, nothing else like it. It's about 12 by 15 meters in size. It's got 1, 2, 3 straight edges to it. This rounded piece to the bottom right, and then that there looks like an opening. Rather strange piece. It's got straight edges and rounded sides in one piece. And then we're looking at another disc-shaped object there, about 8 meters in diameter, and it's partially covered to the right. It also has a dome-like feature in its center. This is one of the bigger blocks I've ever featured, and that is about 10 by 18 meters in size. Got straight edges again, right angles. You can see uniform depth to it on this one side, and then something on top sort of raises up to this donut shaped piece at the top. Get the ridge line there, and this one over here. It's almost like the top of a pyramid, perhaps. Another triangular object on a square base, and this is about 5 by 5 meters. Got the rounded side here to the right. The straight edges and right angles there again. That block over there is about 5 by 5 meters, and it's got 2 carved out areas parallel to one another on the one side over there, and a circular feature on this side. Looking at the top right over there, that looks like a fossilized bone. Rather weird piece. It's about 2 to 3 meters wide and about 12 meters long, and it's got this hollowed out part to the left. Very similar to some other pieces. This is from part 1, the Curious Enigma of Timaeus, and that part, relics west of Petusa rupes. I wonder if these are fossils. Another megalithic block in the center of this image, and I'll show you some others. That whole piece there is about 15 meters across, and it looks like it's a pile of rubble, like a ruin, megalithic ruin. If we draw a line through the middle of this block, we've got a right angled piece there, as well as over here, the rounded part to the left, and another rounded part here to the right. Due to its shape, I think this is a manufactured object. There's some others, strange architectures spotted in Proctor Dune Field on Mars, very similar to the megalithic blocks with protrusions on them as found in the ruins of South America. Another multiple-sided object over there. The two top sides are about 3 meters in length, and we've got symmetry and geometry to this piece. The parallel sides, and on top of it we've got a little triangular object. Very similar to this symmetrical object from part 1, the discs and ruins of Pyramus Fossae. Also have parallel sides and equal angles. In this one we'll be looking at these two smaller parts here and that bright piece over there. So this part, that's about 6 meters in length, and it's got this narrow part on the top parallel to this side, and then here what looked like 2 wheels, and I'll show you a similar one. This is from a large wheel-shaped object spotted near Copernicus on Mars, and my friend Saturn Arc found that one. Also have the 2 discs separated with that gap, same as over here. Got 2 disc-shaped objects, and there's a gap between them, very similar to this. And then this piece, part 4, the discs and ruins of Pyramus Fossae on Mars, reminds me of that part there at the top left. This bright megalithic slab measures about 12 by 15 meters. It's got 2 parallel sides, and then a rather strange narrow rectangular piece here to the bottom. Another rectangular part there, that's about 12 by 8 meters, and it's got a little triangular protrusion in its center. And then this long narrow piece over there, guys and girls, that's rather strange as well. That's about 2 meters wide, and I'd say about 16 meters long. And I don't know what to make of this. Could that have been an obelisk that toppled over? And there's some other examples. That's from part 2, the discs and ruins of Pyramus Fossae, and that one, part 3, the Sidonian Neolithic artists and builders. And dare I say it, another disc-shaped object over there, about 10 meters in diameter, and it's got a rectangular block lying on top of it right there in its center. That block is about 5 meters across and about 2 meters wide on each side. Now what the heck could that be? Each side of that delta-shaped object over there is about 12 meters in length. Check out the straight edges, right angles. I wonder if this is a partially covered block or slab. The L shape is rather strange, very similar to this one from some of the best evidence of megalithic blocks and ruins on Mars, near InSight Lander and rover Curiosity. So about 12 meters on this one side. This looks like a sculpted piece, and that's about 15 meters across. And it's got 2 bevels on each side, and then a very smooth worked area here to the right, and then this strange part here to the top. Looks like a little block over there. Here's another one of these rectangular base structures with a little triangle on it, and that's about 10 by 15 meters. And each side of that triangle is about 3 meters in length. And the size of that triangle is very, very similar to those that are featured in the past as well. There's another example: blocks, knobs and geometric patterns east of Zio Dorso. Another rectangular plate or slab, on top of it a little triangle. This is highly speculative, I know, but that there looks just like a little craft. We have a fuselage in the middle and 2 wings on either side. And that whole piece is about 6 meters across. The fuselage is about 6 meters. But look at the geometry and symmetry going on here again. This definitely doesn't look like a regular rock or boulder, guys. Check out the design on this piece. Nothing else like it in that JP2. And here's some other examples from other photographs on Mars: wreckage, ruins and fish near Real Vallis. That one there is from weird craft and structure artifacts found in Kotka. And that one, part 1, the curious enigma of Tanais. And then this piece to the right, is that some type of wreckage? Check out the highly artificial structure in that object over there. That's about 15 meters across. We've got straight edges, right angles, and then this circular slot cut into it over there, and it's flat on this one side. And then just to end it off, another block, and that piece is about 6 by 6 meters. You can see 2 of the sides. It's hollowed out slightly over here to the bottom left, and that there looks as if it might be a hole that's been drilled into it. Again, we've got parallel sides and right angles over there. And then just a quick update following on from part 2 of my last series, where I'll show you this strange little object next to a circular depression in the Martian surface. Looks like a little craft perhaps, maybe even a trapdoor or some type of hatch, who knows what that is. Found another object about the same size from relics west of Petusa Rupes. Also this circular shape, and then it's got the straight edges and right angles on the top. Wow, that was a long one, I know, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll be back with more Mars anomalies, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.